a gay topic. What can you tell compared to Europe? Would you say America has a more openly gay community, more accepting than Europe?
As far as the gay community goes, we're more open. As far as Europe goes, it's more widely accepted. I mean, you look at even, Canada, you look into Europe where gays have the right to marry, and they have for years. And we're supposed to be the most, highly civilized, richest country in the world, and we still can't marry in, maybe 11 different states. So I think in our community, we're more open, more accepting, but you get to the broader spectrum of the heterosexuals, and I don't think it's nearly as acceptable as it is in Europe. In London, it was amazing. No one bats an eyelash if you walk down the street in Kensington, holding a guy's hand. But here, I've never been ashamed to do it. I've never not held someone's hand if I wanted to, but there are areas where you would think twice, simply because it's just not as accepted.
So what is your opinion when, for example, you met a guy and he wants to have a relationship with you? Are you okay for him to have an affair outside your relationship, or will that be a problem?
No, it would be a problem. Even given that I've worked in the adult community for 3 years, if I'm in a relationship, I want that monogamous relationship. I want to know that that guy is mine. I don't typically share well. So, I mean, my thing is there's a stereotype of anti-monogamy and gay relationships being fleeting, and I guess maybe part of it is that I strive to prove it wrong, but also that what I want, the beliefs I was brought up with, is that you have one person, somebody that you're with, that you love, that you devote your time and your energies to, and that they do the same for you. So it should be special and shared only by that person.
True. Would you, for example, this is just an example, but if ever a gay porn actor would come and date you, would you date a gay porn actor?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
How did it work out? Did it work out well, or was it like...
Well, I mean, I was at the same time. I was in porn at the same time as he was.
Oh, you did porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it for about 3 years now.
How was it?
It's fun. It's fun. It's very fulfilling. It's a blast if you get with the right people, the right companies. We actually lose a lot of our porn family to drugs and to various stupid situations, but I think it's just more prevalently seen in the adult industry. But I think it kind of happens everywhere. It's just pointed out more when it happens with us. But I mean, the relationship didn't work because he was an asshole, but I don't think that it had anything to do with what we do as a living. I just think it had to do with the fact that he was an asshole.
Oh, was he older?
No, he was, I think 2 years, he was 2 years younger than I am.
Okay, so are you guys working with a safe company, or was it like a bareback company?
No, we actually met 3 years ago at a party. And it was actually a Rent Boy Raging Stallion party.
Oh, nice.
Rent Boy being the escorts, Raging Stallion being the porn company. And I got up with, I had gone up with like a friend whom I shortly ditched thereafter. I don't remember who it was. And met some people, met him, and ran around, and he introduced me to all of his friends and these people. And by the end of the night, I had been signed up on Rent Boy, had an ad that was up by the next day to escort, and the next week he had called me and introduced me to a producer he knew. And at that point it just kind of snowballed, and it was like a every 3-4 days kind of filming thing. Okay,
now the next question I will ask you is regarding this certain individual who posted a video on YouTube. Now the thing is, he is a young gay guy who's very disappointed with his previous affair with a boyfriend. I'm not sure if it's a boyfriend. What advice would you give regarding this certain individual regarding looking for the right person?
When I was younger, I used to try to keep a list of what I would accept and what I wouldn't when I met somebody, and I stopped keeping it after a while because it seemed just too it seemed too impossible to keep. And I wish at this point that I would have, because I've made a few mistakes that I wish I would, people I wish I wouldn't have had met. And so I would just say, stick to what it is you're okay with, what you can deal with. If it's, you don't like smokers, then don't date a smoker. Don't make that concession, because if you make that, you come up against the next stopgap where you go, no, this is a line I drew years ago, and you go, but if I'm okay dating a smoker, then I'd probably be okay dating someone who does this, or somebody who is like this, somebody who is addicted to meth, somebody who's not monogamous, somebody who doesn't like family, somebody, who's not publicly out. There are all of these little agreements that we make with ourselves that this is what we want and deserve to have, and probably dispel more than half of them just to find the guy right then. But I think if we were to stick it out and just kind of stick to our guns, eventually there will be somebody like that. You'll never find all of that in one person, but I think it's worth a shot.
So, what's the longest relationship have you been to?
It was off and on, but it was 2.5 years.
Nice. So, regarding the porn industry, what are you really into it, or did you do it because of money-wise?
No, I've never had to do it for money, which was always nice, because I do have a lot of friends who escort, and I have friends who are still in the adult industry for movies, and they're kind of living movie to movie, they're living client to client. I have a really, really good job. I go to school full-time. I did it because it was fun. I did it because, as shallow as it sounds, there's something to be said for knowing that people will pay to have sex with you, whether it's to rent your movie or to rent you for an hour. And it sounds very low, but at the same time, we exist. I think the adult industry exists in a world beneath even the gay community, because you can walk into a bank and see the same teller every week and never know that he runs off and does, his bukkake films on the weekend. It's not part of the life that he exposes you to, but it exists. It's still there. It's still very, very prevalent in his mind, but it's not something you would ever see, not something you would ever think. But I do it because I love it. I don't film anymore, just because I go to school so much and I work so much I don't have the time. And I stopped escorting probably about a month ago, mainly just because A, I get tired of it. I hate having to kiss ass to ignorant people. And B, it's really hard to find a boyfriend if you tell them that you're in the adult industry. I have an issue finding guys who want to do anything but have sex with me.
Okay.
And I like sex, and I'm good at sex, but I'm also good at reading, and I sing, and I write poetry, and I love to go to the park and spend time with family or watch a movie. Like, there's all these other aspects that nobody ever gets to see because all they care about is the sex. So I took myself kind of out of the scene to reevaluate, I guess, the image that people see. I'm not ashamed of it by any means. I'm actually quite proud of it. But I understand that it does put a hurdle for other guys to get over.
Oh. Isn't it kind of like funny, like they won't touch a gay porn actor, but they like watching gay porn?
Yeah, my brother actually, who is straight, as a straight guy watches porn constantly, but hates that I do it. And he's like, you're above that, it's degrading, why would you lower yourself? I'm like, you watch all of these slutty girls do all kinds of shit. And his answer is, yeah, but they're not my brother. I'm like, that's hypocritical. There's somebody's sister. There's somebody's daughter. They're still people. It's still a job. And for me, it was very functional. There was no passion behind it. What you see on film is not what transpires on set. And it's a job like any other. If you look going back to the guy at the gym who might not have the ability to look at gay porn or to meet a guy. There are some guys in a situation where they don't necessarily have the gym, but they can get hold of porn. Okay. So you find these guys in rural Midwest towns where there is no gay community, there's no gay culture. They frown on it. You get beaten up, get your ass kicked if you're queer. But in porn, they can watch it and enjoy that. They have an outlet. They have a pleasure where they're not repressing everything and have absolutely nothing. So in that sense, it sounds weird, but it's like a public service. You are typically providing something that they would not have, and as a gay person stuck in a hetero world, absolutely need. Sex is a natural reaction, it's a natural craving, and I think without it, we'd go insane.
True. So do you think, like, your folks, are they very open when you came out, or when they know?
When I came out gay, I was 19, and I walked into my parents' room before they went to bed one night, and I just read off of a small piece of paper that I had written out that just said, I'm gay, I don't know why you didn't do anything, I don't know if this is forever, but it's definitely for now. Do you have any questions? And I looked up and, they were fine with it. And, their only concern for any of the kids, I have 2 siblings, was that we were happy. And so, my dad said, are you happy? And I said, yeah. I'm like, now that this is off my chest, I think I will be very happy. And he said, well, that's all we've ever wanted for you. Mom had a little bit of concern with, she didn't understand why or what happened or what made me gay. And it only took maybe 2-3 months for her to come around. And I told them even before I came out that I wanted to be in porn. That, growing up, I'd fill my Christmas list with porno titles that I'd give from like TV Guide. Because I was always obsessed with porn. And of course, I never had any porn waiting for me at Christmas, but when I went to them and I explained that I was going to be in the industry, I don't think they were surprised. They weren't thrilled about it. but they weren't surprised and they were supportive. I started out go-go dancing. That went into porn, which went into escorting, and then at the same point, I was doing all three. And then for Christmas one year, I actually gave autographed copies of my movies to my family and friends. So, and I signed it like as my porn name and, you know, wrapped it up and gave it like any presents. Like my brother has a copy of one of my movies, my parents have them, my mom's friends have them, my sister's friends love watching them.
Whoa.
But I mean, you know, and it's not, it was kind of a gag. Obviously, my family doesn't watch it, but, you know, it's